So you were on the Tonight Show like 61 times, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
That's correct.
explain what it was like being on that show.
Well, let's go back to the time, John. In 1975, after the comedy team split up, we were together from 1969 to about 1975. And I decided to go it alone. I moved out to the West Coast and slept in an old abandoned car. And I was hitchhiking up and down Sunset Boulevard every day, begging to work for free. My wife and kids were back in Chicago. And so in 1975, wherever you went in America, people say, "What do you do for a living?" You say, "I'm a stand-up comedian." The next question out of their mouth was, "Oh, yeah? You ever been on Johnny Carson?" And if you hadn't been on Johnny Carson, in the eyes of America, you just weren't a comedian yet. You might want to be a comedian, you might going to be one, but you weren't one yet. Is that one appearance on The Tonight Show in those days, and your whole life changed. Freddie Prinze did one appearance on The Tonight Show. The next day, he got a sitcom. I did one appearance on The Tonight Show. The next day, CBS signed me to a development deal. A guy from CBS was watching the show that night, a guy named Lee Curlin, and signed me to a development deal. I was drawing unemployment one day, and the following day, my whole life changed just from one appearance on that Tonight Show. So that's how important it was. In those days, 15 to 20 million people watched that show. So when you got on that show, it changed your life. Even though there were other shows. I mean, after I did the Tonight Show, I did Merv Griffin, Mike Douglas, Dinah Shore, Midnight Special, Rock Concert, Soul Train, American Bandstand. They were all using stand-up comedians, but none of them could launch you like the Tonight Show could. So it was really a great experience. And as you pointed out, I ended up doing 61 appearances on the Tonight Show. In order to do the Tonight Show, Johnny Carson wanted you to come up with new material all the time. He didn't want you to do two guys going to bar jokes. It had to be original monologues. And that was the challenge. Not doing one Tonight Show was a challenge, but doing more than one Tonight Show, because repeated appearances of changing your material all the time, was the challenge, But it really changed my life. I owe a lot to Johnny Carson and the Tonight Show.